Hello, my friends, and big thanks to all subscribers and moderators, and also a big welcome to all the new members. So, some really great news ahead, and I think it's going to be exciting that you can learn how to win a free reading. So, let's start with some kind of like general info. So, this is a general reading. So that means I don't want the freak out, hey, it's not catered to special me, it's just me, and not every detail of my life is being covered. Well, I'm sorry, sweetie, but this is a general reading. So how I do it, I kind of like focus on everybody of that sign, and also on their ascendant, also on their moon, and also on all the people who might be actually cross-watching. So plenty of people there, so two people of the same sign are never the same. Nothing really beats private readings, so just keep that in mind. Now, what I do suggest is, like, definitely, as I mentioned, to check your sun sign, check your ascendant, check your moon sign. And if you're cross-watching for somebody else, then also check the same, like sun sign, ascendant, and moon, and also their Mars. That's going to tell you their really attitude toward relationships and how basically this is like resonating at this particular time. Now, I really want to also say something else before I go to that great part that you're like waiting for, that this reading, like if you get a private reading, this is like on a double special. First of all, it's only $50, and second of all, you are still taking advantage of the speed up promotion. So it is about 7 days. I'm not going to guarantee exactly the same 7 days because sometimes I have the monthly readings, but within the 7 to 9 days you get the reading back. If it's a regular reading, you can upgrade it to Russian Urgent, but this is really up to you. So are you excited? Let's get to the fun part. And one on social media. So off you go. So guys, it's very simple. If you're being called to be a winner, you just basically from that nick you send, put your email, and that way we know it is you, and that's all you need to do. In the comments you give your email, and then you're contacted at that email, and that's all that takes. So there you go. So I hope to see you on Saturday on live reading, and not only one Saturday but many Saturdays, and many of you are present. So all you have to do is like, hey, I'm here, hi Kat, I'm in Toronto, I am in Arkansas, I am in Michigan. So all you need to do is just like announce yourself, and you have to be present when this is drawn. So this is kind of like a good start, especially for those of you who never had private reading. It's very therapeutic. I'm not fortune teller, I'm actually kind of guiding you through the process, and that's kind of like really easy for everybody, so nothing to be scared of. What I'm going to do the next is I'm going to explain to you how I came up with this Is Your Ex Coming Back spread. This is only for the people who are actually wanting their exes to come back. So I don't want to hear, I don't want an ex back. Just go to the different reading. It's all cool. If you have seen this, if you are a steady kind of like person here, just jump to the reading, see the timestamps below. It took me forever to find a combination of 7 cards that can actually work out and give me the information. These cards are taken from a different deck. They're called significators, and they're going to be identical to every single reading. They're kind of like telling me the category about what they need to know about this particular relationship between you and the person you're asking about. It is only for the people who are, as I said, looking for somebody and want to know more. The magician is going to tell me the quality of this relationship, if this is really a starter, if you cannot go in a different direction, and if this is going to happen. The temperance reversed is going to tell me what is off, what needs to be glued, what needs to be repaired. Is the situation right? Is the person right? What is wrong? And we are going to realize that. Then we have 2 significators. They are interchangeable, either or. You can kind of like pick one, you will see which one resonates more, and also the energy and the communication in between. The Judgment card is our karma card. It's going to tell me, hey, is this supposed to go on? What is supposed to happen here in between everybody? And what do we really need to expect? That's fine designating. And finally, we can make an educated guess to see where is this heading? Where is this going? But again, guys, I did tell you, private reading is private reading. It's only your energy that is involved. So let's start. Aries, and welcome to your September Is Your Ex Coming Back series. So let's check it out. You have Nine of Cups reversed and Ace of Cups reversed. Nine of Cups, Six of Cups. Boy, lots of cups. And we have another Six of Swords, Five of Pentacles, and Five of Cups. So now this is really interesting, because it looks like that some of you still really want to go in this direction of this person, and it looks like it has been over. There's a lots of kind of like remorse of looking certain things back, both on the good things, both on the bad things, and kind of like also trying to figure out, I guess, how to remedy this, because it looks like, look, 1 and 9 of Cups, you wanted everything, this relationship represented to you really so much, that you're still willing to open this kind of like romance and this like big cup of love, but this person kind of like is already in a different frame of mind, and they're already kind of coming out. They really do feel that there is like no meeting of the minds. There's like no the same kind of attitude toward life with you, and that was their reason for actually moving on. But they also kind of like think about the past. They also kind of like, they're more thinking, you see, they're more thinking about the bad things, where you're more thinking about the good things, and that's why there is like no meeting of the minds at this stage. And this is saying like this kind of like hope is not going to flourish. So let me clarify this Ace of Cups over here. Why is this Ace of Cups here? No, I don't want a million cards. Okay. Yeah, you see, it is reunion and journey, but it's falling in the category of what really needs to be repaired, and it's something that cannot be glued. And it looks like this new beginning, this new relationship, this like kind of like wish for union, wished for this kind of like journey, because look, going on this side, this is going on this side. And that's what happens, and that's kind of like how basically even the trials and law processes work. It's kind of like establishing kind of like what happened is really difficult, because relationships are fully emotional. This is not about facts. You did it to me and you prove your fact, and it kind of like now everything is repaired. It's very emotional. It's like the anchor is like what you remember. So you maybe still have exactly the same date, and one person remembers, he said to me that, you know, he was like bragging about this person, how pretty she is, but, you know, never pays compliments like that to me. So it's kind of like sense of kind of like hesitation or sense of something is missing, where the other person kind of like felt, oh my gosh, I really tell you all the time and I meant nothing with that. So it's just like sort of like what we are going to filter through a conversation that is going to stay with us, because it really tells me here that really it's very much that there are two different stories. Like one person here is like wanting everything, remembering, and it feeling like very enthusiastic, or not so much enthusiastic. There is like the sense of nostalgia about how it was, the good old days, if you wish. And in the meantime, they haven't been happy at all, and they're kind of like moving on. They don't really know necessarily what's going to happen, but they're kind of like moving on from the situation that looks like they feel they have been boxed in some kind of situation. So there is absolutely a sense of kind of like new direction. So let's see what else we have. Temperance reversed, 10 of Pentacles and King of Pentacles, 9 of Swords and Knight of Pentacles. So we have, repeat, 8 of Wands and Knight of Swords. So this to me tells me it's kind of like interesting. I don't know, maybe if you're female, maybe you want to kind of like go into something really serious with them, even including marriage. But this is, or you are wondering if this person is married to you and maybe has left. Like, what the heck is going to happen? And that's why there is like this turmoil and nightmare and sort of like pitting for the loved one. What's going to happen? But again, they're still moving forward. They're still kind of almost like in a mood. I don't want to be questioned. I have made my decision. I'm going. Because look, the Temperance also here came reversed. Something was off. Wrong time, wrong place. And that imprint of this relationship was, the blueprint is completely different for you and for the partner in this particular situation. There is some kind of like trouble at the home life. It kind of like looks like that it could be that they don't feel accepted, or they don't feel accepted by the family, by the friends, by the group of people, and they're not willing to do anything more than just like being friends. But even with that, I think it's kind of like very temporarily, because even if you call that card, they are going to tell you almost like off. They do have bitter sweet feeling over that. There is like some kind of bitterness about all of that stuff, which is kind of like really, really sad over here, because it looks like, you know, that one party here is like willing to go all the way in. Let's kind of do it. But like right now, this is something that is kind of like stopping all of that from happening. There is like definitely not somebody doesn't want to dedicate to something long term. And what also could have happened is that maybe somebody expressed love and somebody expressed like, this is like, I mean, I feel so great, and the other person started being panicky and started to like immediately kind of like bail out of the situation. Because this is telling me like kind of like there are delays, and maybe you're asking something and they don't get back to you at all, or get back to you with a big delay, and then it's only half of the things are being answered, and so on and so forth. So let's see where this is going. And look at it, you have the same combination as you had here. You had the 9 and 1. So this kind of like tells me you want everything, like everything kind of like in one kind of like shot, right? It's kind of like feeling that, hey, if you just try it one more time, give me one more chance. Kind of like it feels like, look, we have been bruised, we have been going through thick and thin, but come on, like, let's try it. Let's try just like one more try. Let me see, this Ace of Wands is unfortunately falling in this category, which is a good ace. It's falling in a category what needs to be glued. Maybe there were too many times back and forth between the two of you. Maybe, you know, like, I mean, you know, it's like elastic. It's not, it's losing elasticity after a while. Let me see this Ace of Wands. Yeah, that's a love. I think what was happening at each and every time you guys went back and forth, that there was a damage. And maybe you did kind of like reconnected, and maybe you did patch, but there were other things, there were other signs, maybe that impacted your family life, maybe they impacted other people around you, maybe they impacted that overall sense of what love is, because this love started to become tumultuous and turbulent. Chariot, the Page of Swords. I'm so sorry to say this, guys, but they don't want to even consider it. And this might not be you. As I said, check your ascendant. In the description you will see the link for the getting a free natal chart, so you can see all this constellation, because you're willing to fight for them. The Chariot doesn't necessarily mean fighting for somebody, I have to tell you this, but in this situation I don't think I can interpret this any other way. And especially if you're female, it's going to be really crucial that females are going to really fight for the partner. But if you're male, then that kind of like softer approach probably will be needed. But unfortunately you're going to be told that you're a manipulator. They do see you as a manipulator. They kind of like just cannot see the happiness anymore. That's kind of like they're putting a brave face, but they're like really, really firm in what's basically happening and what's going on. It might be Page of Swords reversed. It's kind of like sometimes that spy and secretive kind of like thing. Maybe you're checking their Facebook, etc. You know, this is kind of like such a bad way to go and do the stuff. Getting a tarot reading is way better, because on Facebook this is like almost like an avatar. You put the happy face and, oh, look at this food, like as if somebody really wants to see somebody's food, really. And just for your information, food shots always look horrible. And of course people present themselves as like having a glamorous, wonderful life, and then the other person kind of like really obsess even more, because there is like obsessive feeling back and forth. And obsession is because there were things that were bad, but there were also things that were really, really good. So it is like almost like feeling which way it will go. But I think from over here that really, really looks like they have made their mind up. But the good news in this is that either you'll fight for them, or it's kind of like really interesting here, the Queen of Wands and King of Pentacles. It's telling me that there is like something that needs to change, and the only thing that I can see in such a short slice of time is that you wanted too much too fast, and they got scared and they started to run away. That's kind of like how it looks to me. With, you know, you were kind of like, you're Aries after all, like, you know, you see no point, like if you like something, off you go for that, like, I mean, next day you're married. But not everybody's like that, and you might be dealing with another person who is maybe an earth sign or fire sign or even air sign, and they don't have the same speed. Or you see, the air sign might react really kind of like aggressively toward that, like, no, I told you no and you have to respect this. Well, the earth sign might actually say, look, let's see where it goes, we kind of like have to first learn to be friends, it takes time. So the fire sign will be the best bet if you're dealing with another fire sign that could actually go somewhere, because you know, I really think more or less this actually points back to you, and it points back to saying, look, you really need to figure it out. Why do you want so much from somebody who actually doesn't want you? And what is the real reason? Because whenever this card shows up, and if you really look at it, it's almost like in the center of the reading. And it's telling me that something in the center of you, deep inside of you, kind of like really wants this happy ending. So the truth is, like, something here did not glue, and that maybe you're fighting against the windmills over here, because look, after all, you have like all this kind of like this new leaf, new start, nothing is like turning on in a new direction, which usually tells me that you have to go back to that, doing that inside job, kind of like doing this meditation, and I'll get your tarot reading to kind of like get a clearer picture about your own situation, get, you know, the understanding of who you are, in order to see that, you know, even being the best you can be doesn't mean that we are a good fit for everybody else. And it's just like kind of understanding that level. It's telling me that you need to learn something about love. You need to learn what love universally is, not necessarily just on your own terms. And that's going to be good for you in the long term. So let me get one more card for you, Aries. And as I said, try to get your own reading. Try to see your ascendant and try to see your moon sign, and that kind of like is going to really impact as well. So let me see. Advice for Aries. Attraction. And I don't really read all of that stuff because you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. It's crazy, right? I really think the attraction is here, and I think that's what this is talking about, and maybe that's why you're checking them on a social media, and this is making you even more upset, and you're feeling more and more distant by actually doing that. But this actually card also tells me that there is like a really need here to so there is no point, there is like no problem attracting them, and they're like not attracted to you. They're like some more bigger and crucial things. And maybe that's what it is, that you feel that love is all about attraction, and that's not the case. Sometimes people will leave you even if they love you, just because maybe they cannot see that, you know, house on the prairie in the long term. Because for long term, you really need to get along with the entire family, with their entire friends. And of course, there are many people who don't, and they have highly dysfunctional relationship. But at this stage, I really feel they're really determined to move away. We will see how this develops the next month, but for now, that's all I see. So Aries, as I said, you can get the private reading from me via cattarot.ca. And also what I really want to mention is that you can maybe win your free reading by actually joining that Saturday lives at 11 a.m. EST. So just show up there, say hi, and in order to be invited, like, just if you're not a subscriber, just click this button and subscribe. Or alternatively, just leave your comments over here or Facebook or Instagram, and that way you can qualify as well. So thank you guys so much, and your comments are more than appreciated. We'd love to hear what you think. Love you guys.